Well, hello, 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 my friends. It is me, Mrsroedee, and I am back because guess what? If you haven't noticed, today is Weigh In Wednesday for me. And that means that I have to come on, I should say, and report to you what the scale said. Was the scale nice to me? Was the scale not nice to me? Or moreover than that, did I do what I was supposed to do all week? So the scale would reflect that I did my work. No, I did not do what I was supposed to all week. And yes, the scale reflects that. And it is a gain of 1.4. Now, if you remember last week's weigh in, if you were around for that, I lost a pound somehow. I didn't want to take credit for that, although my coach Zoe said I should, some of my subscribers and my friends said I should. And I said, well, okay, I'll celebrate that in spite of myself, I lost a pound. That's how I ended up looking at it. And I would probably encourage, and I do encourage everyone who reports in their weigh ins that they lost a pound. It's a pound. A pound is a pound. Okay. So I'll give you that. So this week I regained that pound and 0.4. Now, am I going to sit here and cry about it? No, because I know I didn't do what I was supposed to do for the most part. I've been having a struggle. I've been telling you all that I've had a struggle now for quite a while. And part of that is my obsession with trying to do this whole foods plant-based. I'm so hyper focused on that at this point. That's what I've been doing to myself for quite a while now. That's the reason I went back to Slimming World, because it matches up very well with that eating style. I spent so much time hyper focusing on that and feeling like a failure that is stressing me out so much that I am not doing anything I'm supposed to be doing. That's what really, looking back to July, the end of July, when I rejoined, I think it was the end of July, around that time, I rejoined Slimming World for the second time. Now, what happened when I rejoined Slimming World? I didn't do that correctly either. I'm being totally honest with you. And the reason isn't because of Slimming World. The reason is because I was so hyper obsessed with how am I going to do this whole foods plant-based eating? How am I going to do it the best way it's supposed to be done? How am I going to do the daily 12s from Dr. Greger? How am I going to do all these things? And guess what? I was also working and I was very hungry because when I was doing the cashier job at BJ's, I was doing a lot of really good, healthy exercise. I was really happy about that, except for that I was being totally thrown off because I have a lap band and I can only eat but a certain amount of food depending what it is in a certain period of time. So if I'm going to go for my break at 10:15, let's say, and I have to make sure I eat enough at 8 o'clock because I'm going to be working hard, not hard, but enjoyably hard, and burning off calories. And I'm not going to be able to eat again maybe till, I don't know, lunch is a half an hour. I can't eat lunch at break because it's only 15 minutes. What am I going to eat? How am I going to be compliant with these plans? Do you see the craziness? Do you hear the craziness coming from me? It was craziness. So it's no wonder why I wasn't able to do any of it. And then I just carried on with that. I started with the Grow Plan. I was trying to do Nutrisystem bars and shakes, incorporated in the Grow Plan, saving the calories and all the insanity that I was getting away from by joining Slimming World, because I did not want to track all these calories anymore, if anybody remembers. Because when you do whole food plant-based eating, it gets to be a lot after a while. You get tired of tracking. It's not like Nutrisystem or any prepackaged food that you're going to just scan in and go, you know. And so where did that bring me back to for today? All of this you've heard before. I strongly believe in whole food plant-based eating. Let's put that aside. Am I ever going to get there? I have no idea. I have no idea. But I can tell you I will never get there if I continue with this obsession of trying to do that. I'm throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because when I get obsessive with things and want to do things perfectly, I end up doing nothing because I get frustrated. And I'm sure this probably resonates with some of you. Does it sound familiar at all? When you start to do a plan, you're all gung-ho. It's the honeymoon phase. You're doing it. And then suddenly you have a stall, or suddenly you have a gain and it's unexplained. And you want to just say, I'm throwing in the towel. I can't do this. It's not working for me. or you get tired of doing it. The honeymoon phase goes away on its own and you get tired and you want to do something new. I think that for those of us that are out here who have been doing this for a long, long time, these things do happen to us. And sometimes we get, I call it diet fatigue, much sooner than later. If the plan doesn't work for us right away, then we get really, really upset with ourselves. We feel like a failure and so on and so forth. So yes, that has basically been the cycle for me. I've cycled through 3 different ways of doing things since July. It is now almost soon enough going to be January. So 6 months of going around a circle. I am no longer cashier, as you all know, for the time being. Definitely won't be BJ's. I can tell you that. Or if I do it again, I'd like to do it at more like a supermarket, ideally, or maybe a Dollar Tree type situation, but where I'm still going to be moving around, because moving around is critical. I think it's healthy for my mental health. It's healthy for my physical health. And it's also healthy for my eating health, or my eating plan health, I'll call it, in this moment. So what did I do this morning as I was spinning my wheels? I said, well, let's look at what I gravitate to most is always going to be calorie counting. I feel because I am at the stage in the game between my age and my being very close to my goal weight. I'm only a few pounds from my goal weight. I'm not complaining about that. I'm not complaining. I don't mean to be sounding that I'm complaining about what happens after. I have to find something that is going to work for me in maintenance phase. I can easily get myself down to my goal weight. I can do that if I put my mind to it. That's not the issue for me. I want to be able to be left with something that is a lifestyle of eating, a healthy lifestyle, and a plan of eating for myself that is just seamless. Weighing and measuring is always going to be a part of my life. I feel calorie counting will always be in there because I have to be mindful of my calories. How much protein I get is always going to be something that I'm going to be looking at for my overall health and well-being. So, okay, we have now calorie counting, we have the amount of protein, and we have, we've covered the issue of the movement and why it's good for me. Well, how am I going to do, what's the plan going to be? What I don't like about calorie counting is that it gives me a lot of freedom, which I love the freedom of it. I think it's great, ultimately. But I also would like to have something more than just straight calorie counting, which brings me back to Slimming World. What I like about Slimming World is it really pushes you in the direction of intrinsic eating. It talks about making a plate 1/3 of your veg, which for me would be half of my plate be veg, because I love my veg and I think it's important for me to have more than 1/3 of my plate. That also could include fruits. So yeah, in the morning for breakfast, my fruit would be, I would consider that 1/3 of my plate if I wanted to look at my breakfast meal in that perspective, or in that way. So 1/3 of your plate is protein and 1/3 of your plate is going to be some sort of a starch. And you're strongly encouraged to eat what are termed speed fruits and vegetables. Those that have a lower glycemic index, that have many less calories in them than would be your starchy vegetables, even though those are free. Okay, your potatoes, your corn, your peas, those are free, but they are not speed. So you're really encouraged to focus on getting in your speed fruits and veg every day. And then everything else is just kind of like backfill. Because it's free does not mean it is free in calories. So being mindful of those things, that's basically how it's done. Now, yes, you should be having calcium in your diet so you get your healthy extra A's. In my case, you get 2 of those. One of them is going to always be almond milk or soy milk, and the other one is going to be some sort of cheese. Even though those things do have calories that I have to be mindful of. Now, your Healthy Extra B on the Slimming World plan is going to be anything from seeds to bread, and it's whole grain. So, do I eat bread every day? No, I don't. So, in which case, then I could have my seeds. I could alternate those things. If I wanted to incorporate that, I don't want to call it a rule of Slimming World because that sounds negative to me, but it's part of the plan. It's built into the plan. Okay, that's one of the things that is in the plan. You are to have the Healthy Extra B every day. You get 2 A's and you get 1 B, and the rest is basically your speed foods, your free protein foods, your free veggies. In a nutshell, that's like a watered down version of what Slimming World basically comes to. The next part of it is called SYNS, SYNS, Synergy. Now, for my height, weight, and age, I get 15 a day, and it goes up from there depending on what your height, weight, and age are. The more you weigh, the more they go up. Some people get 25. But as you go down in weight, so do your SYNS come down. But the baseline of SYNS is 15. Now, you're strongly encouraged to eat between 5 and 10 SYNS. Basically, if you're in the United States and Canada, your SYNS are going to come down to be 20 calories per SYN. And that's how you're going to figure it out. Because even if you have the Slimming World app, it will be useless to you. Does that mean you cannot do the Slimming World plan at home? No, of course you can do it. It's not rocket science. I mean, I do have a link, which I've posted before, of some wonderful human being that decided to take it upon themselves to put this all in writing so people like myself could refer to it if we wanted to. But I'm one that likes to keep things simple, okay? I personally would take one of my pure protein bars because you can have 2 Slimming World, it's not coming to me what they're called. Those of you on Slimming World in the UK know. The bars that Slimming World sells. You can take 2 of those and that could be your Healthy Extra B. And I believe they're like 70 calories each. So if I took half of a pure protein bar, let's say, and I wanted to have a bar in place of bread, or I didn't want nuts or seeds, let's say, I desired that for the day, that particular day, I would just cut it in half and call it a day. I wouldn't really get into the nitty-gritty of the calories because there is one that, pardon me, that I have used, which would be the mint cookie one. The calorie count on that is exactly, if I cut it in half, the equivalent of the Slimming World bars. I know I've done it and posted it in a video back when. So, long and short of it, I'm probably making you totally confused. I hope I'm not. If you have questions about Slimming World, again, I'm going to put the link, your go-to place for your resource on this plan if you are not in the UK. If you're in the UK, you know all about Slimming World. But we no longer have it in the States. And as I said, even if I did the online again, and I have done the online twice, proof in the pudding, okay? I have 2 sets of these. That means I paid twice. The last time I said I wouldn't do it again because unlike Weight Watchers, there is no group meeting. I thought in the beginning that when I first signed up that I would be able to access a group meeting that is run the way a Weight Watchers meeting is run. The old way, the way that it was before when the virus started, where you had your actual coach that you would have had in your studio. And even Weight Watchers has changed on that. But they do have coaches that are running their meetings as if you were in a studio, okay, that you can go to every week and have your meeting. You can't stick with one coach and that can become your coach. Slimming World doesn't have that. They have what's more like classes and they are interactive and I thought they were very nice, but they were not something that I felt I needed. If I was looking for a meeting, I would like it to be one that is run like Weight Watchers, the way it would be if I went in a studio, which is bringing me to the weight loss company and why I really enjoy having Zoe as my coach on Zoom, because she does run it. She is a former Weight Watchers coach and she runs the meeting in that way. She picks a topic. It's always a purposeful, concrete thing that we're talking about. And we also have the option of joining in as members. She does a really great job with that with us. And it was the same thing on the grow plan. I have to give Kieran, if you're interested in that plan and you're looking for a meeting type setup, he does a great job with that. He was a studio, I call it a studio because of Weight Watchers. He was a coach for Slimming World. And so he runs his meetings in the way he would if he was in a group meeting physically in a building running a Slimming World meeting. So for me, again, joining Slimming World is, I already have their cookbooks. I have a year's worth of their magazine, which is beautiful. So I have, all of the information I need. And unless something changed drastically in the plan, there really is no reason for me to go and do that. So why am I telling you all of this and going on and on for 15 minutes already? Because I've been listening to different people on YouTube that are coaches of one sort or another for one plan or another. And they all come back to the same thing. And it resonates with me. You should be working the plan to a point. But if the plan is not working for you, you need to figure out what does work for you. And in my case, I think for right now, and again, I always say this, I never do absolutes. And if I have, I apologize for having done that because I didn't really either think it through or listen to what I was saying as it was coming out of my mouth, which does happen at times. I want to take the principles of Slimming World and I want to calorie count. And I want to see how that goes for me. I want to not have it in my head, first and foremost, about the whole food plant-based eating. Because Slimming World does basically the vegetables are free, the fruits are free, the lean proteins are free. Okay? Basically, that's encouraging you to go toward whole food plant-based. Not plant-based necessarily, I take that back, but whole foods, across the board. And they put things in place for your cheeses, your milks. This is Leela, you've seen her many times. She loves being on the camera, on the video. They've taken those things, and they've made it into a little package for those people who want to move in the direction of eating. And again, if you have a lot of weight to lose, you'll lose it on Slimming World. You definitely will, until you don't. When you reach a point like me, where I'm not going to lose on that plan if I don't weigh, measure, calorie count. So I'm going to stay focused on eating healthy, and I'm going to try to get myself through these next couple weeks into the new year and really focus myself in that direction. So yes, am I changing what I'm doing? I don't think I really am. I think I'm still calorie counting, but I'm trying to also sprinkle in a couple of other things that Slimming World offers in their plan to help me to go in a direction that I can stay in and eventually maybe not do so much calorie counting. I won't be calorie counting my non-starchy vegetables. I didn't do that with Nutrisystem and I loved it. I'm not going to do it here. I will track potatoes because they're calorie dense, even though not as calorie dense as olive oil, obviously. But I will track it and keep an eye on it. Peas and corn, I doubt it. I don't eat enough of it to do that unless I eat an entire serving, which in place of salad, let's say, if I put a little bit of it in the salad, it's incidental in terms of my calories. I'm not really worried about that. And I think that's the way for me to go right now. I won't know if I don't try. And this is what I strongly encourage other people in my life and who watch my channel. You will not know if you don't try. And if it's in the back of your mind that this is something you want to do, nothing else that you are doing between now and then and you actually doing what you want to try is going to work for you. I can almost guarantee that. So why waste time? Why not just try something? I could try for a week and I can come back and say, look, this is what I thought it was going to be. But I strongly encourage, and I hope to set an example by coming to you and saying in honesty what is going on with me, that if you're out there and it's going on with you as well, you don't feel alone. And that if I'm encouraging you to try something else or to figure some things out, do some homework. There's plenty of people out there that have strategies to offer. There are medical people out there. There are all sorts of people out there that until you do this discovery for yourself, this work, you aren't going to know what it is the ideal thing for you to do, or even the best thing for you to do. It may not be ideal, because nothing to me is ideal, but it could be better choices for you to help you in your journey to get to where you need to go with your health, first and foremost. And most of us can't be healthy if we don't lose this weight. I could stay this weight and keep on going, but you know what's going to happen? Next year, I'm going to come to you and say I gained another 10 pounds or 5 pounds. And each year you add on weight, and that is not healthy. Not healthy. It only brings cholesterol up, blood pressure up, chance for other diseases to increase. None of these things which I want at my age. I think overall, my son and I were having this chat, my oldest son, Steven. He's like, Mom, he's turning 40 in a couple weeks. And he's had some issues, orthopedic issues going on for the last year. And he's gone through lots of troubles with that. And he's figuring things out. And he's like concerned about me. He's always concerned about me. He thinks I'm really not doing very well. And I said to him, I am so blessed to be doing as well as I am for my age, because I look around me and there are a lot of people much younger than me that are not able to do half of what I can do. And I'm not feeling particularly great about what I can do at this point, but I need to in review, self-review, really, not only to be able to be grateful for those things, which I think is important, but I need to also validate for myself that I am not doing as badly as I could be doing, and I'm very blessed. I really am. So on that note, I'm blessed to have all of you. I want to thank you if you stood this long, but I really did I really felt the need to come on and talk to you about this. Yeah, I had the 1.4 gain on the scale. In the big picture of things, that is not the issue. In the big picture of things, the issue is what needs to be addressed is healthy eating and how I can best do that, and what my plan of action is going to be. I think that's really, in a nutshell, for all of us, what we need to do. You may disagree. I don't know. This is just my humble opinion, I'll call it. But it's really important to be self-aware and to try to have an understanding of what your needs are so that you can address them in your eating plan. Because if you don't, you're going to go in a circle. You'll be doing this circle for however long it is. You could do it for a lifetime. There are many people out there that do it for a very long time and there are many people that never get there. Which kind of people do we want to be? We want to be the kind of people that, because we are capable and we need to take care of ourselves. So we want to be the kind of people that try really hard to find what works for us. And that may take a while. It's a lot of legwork and homework. You have to keep on trying. Don't ever give up. I tell you that all the time. So on that note, do something good for yourself today, because you're important and only you can do that for yourself. I can encourage you. Other people can encourage you, but you need to be the person that encourages you enough to make a decision to take good care. And on that note, I'm going to tell you to please do whatever you can to be well. I'm going to send you some hugs, as I always do. I'm going to thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video, which hopefully is going to be tomorrow. We're going to do what I eat in a day. And I may do shorts for lunch and dinner. I ate Nutrisystem for breakfast, which is not on Slimming World Plan, unless I want to stand it. And right now, I ate waffles, and I don't feel like dealing with that. So I won't give you totals for the day, but I may give you in a short, one for lunch and one for dinner. We'll see how it goes. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.